So welcome to our channel. I'm Loz, and you've probably seen my husband, Baz.
I'm your husband.
And on this channel, we talk all things health, lifestyle, well-being to help you integrate healthy habits into your lifestyle. So if you want a bit more of this and it tickles your bits, then hit the subscribe button. Let's get on with these symptoms then. I think one of the first things though before we start is to understand the difference between menopause and perimenopause, because so many people out there don't understand the difference. So what is perimenopause then? Perimenopause is basically the stage before you have menopause. So perimenopause can last anywhere between, get this, 4 and 15 years. Yes, 4 and 15 years. Now they say that it's getting younger in age. So they say at the moment, I think it is the average woman starts around the age of 47. Well, I'm 42 and I definitely started perimenopause about the age of 40. And you'll go through all of these different symptoms and feelings, and basically what's happening is your hormones are fluctuating, so your progesterone and your estrogen. And then you'll hit menopause. And menopause is when you have officially not had a period for a whole year. Now, I'm still having periods. I have the Mirena coil, so that kind of gives me a bit of my progesterone. But I'm currently on testosterone cream and estrogel. So that's kind of, let's set the record straight on what menopause and perimenopause is. So let me tell you about the first symptom. One of the big ones for me that I had no idea was a symptom was what I call ghost UTI. So UTI is a urinary tract infection. And I was experiencing this a few days before my period. I was thinking, oh my gosh, I need to go to the toilet. And I just, you know what it's like when you get a UTI or cystitis, you kind of go and then you think, oh, I've still got more in there. And to the point even that I was wetting myself a little bit when I did pull-ups. I even took a urine sample to the doctors because I was convinced I had UTI. And he said it was the most perfect pee sample he'd ever seen, which confirmed to me that this is a symptom of perimenopause. And when I spoke to my specialist about it, she was like, yeah, that does happen. So ghost UTI is number one. So this one's a bit of a weird one as well. It's called tinnitus. It's kind of like the symptom of tinnitus. So you'll hear this kind of ringing and buzzing in your ears. It didn't affect my balance. I still get it now, even though I'm on HRT. But what I do notice is that when I'm sitting there, I'll just hear this kind of buzzing in my ears. It doesn't take away from my other hearing. I can hear everything okay. But again, it's just started to become more and more prevalent. And yeah, guess what? My specialist was like, yeah, that's also a symptom. Tinnitus. So the third one for me was massive joint pain. Now, I've never really experienced joint pain. I'm very lucky there. I do a lot of CrossFit. I probably train about 5 to 6 times a week. I have a coach. And the pain that I felt was like a deep kind of inflammation pain right in all of my major joints, my knees, my elbows, my wrists. And it was just like I had so much congestion and inflammation in there that the pain was almost like a deep throbbing pain. And it was to the point, even I said to my coach sometimes, I literally cannot train. It was horrible. I suppose, yeah, just because they're a bit new. But should we type? Yeah, actually, yeah. Would you mind? Just I've picked up my new specs
from
Select Specs.
Select Specs.
Right, number 4 then. And this one really affected my sleep massively, and it was restless legs syndrome. I don't know whether you've heard of restless legs. I do have it quite a bit sometimes with the medication that I take for the bipolar and the OCD, but it's kind of like this awful pain that builds up in your joints. Mainly you'll get it in your lower limbs, so in your knees, and it's kind of like this, I don't even know how to describe it. But if you describe it, what?
It's like a football player sleeping next to me that's kicking me all night long.
If you've ever experienced it, you'll know exactly what you mean. You'll be going, yes, Loz, I know what you mean. But for me, it doesn't just start in my knees, but also spreads to my ankles and even my wrists. And what it is, it just feels like you've got this massive kind of painful, uncomfortable discomfort energy or feeling and sensation. And the only thing that will rid it is like a jerk, and then you settle down again, and then you have to jerk, and if you don't move it, it's just so painful. Okay, so the fifth symptom then, and as I said, the one which was the most scary for me, and this one felt like I was in the back seat of a car and someone else was driving and I couldn't stop it. It was anxiety. Okay, now I have a diagnosis of OCD, I have a diagnosis of bipolar, and that's part of the reason why I was medically retired from the police force, because of it. And I would always say I'd take the bipolar any day over OCD. And this anxiety felt exactly like that. I started to notice some of my old patterns and behaviours coming back. But this anxiety was like so gripping and so intense, and the visions that I was having were so strong, and the catastrophizing that was going on in my head was just something out of this world. And I remember almost feeling like I was sitting in the back of that car and I was viewing it all going on, and I couldn't lean forward and grab the steering wheel and kind of stop the ride. And for me, that symptom was one of the worst, because it was the most debilitating with everything that I was doing. I hope that's helped you today with me sharing some of the symptoms that I've had, which aren't really talked about. And there are quite a few more, to be honest with you, but I thought let's just keep it at 5 for the time being. But I really hope that this has helped you, and also it's made you feel like, oh, thank God I'm not on my own, because I think that's one of the big things. We tend to suffer in silence with this kind of stuff. And I'm kind of on a mission to make sure that this subject is not taboo at all whatsoever, that we do talk about it, that if you are struggling, you can get help. So I am shouting from the rooftops about menopause and perimenopause and periods, and making it a normal conversation to have. So if you'd like this video and it's tickled your bits, as I say, then hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and drop a comment below about maybe if you have also experienced those symptoms, or if you're feeling brave enough, share some that you've had. And if you want any more content or questions on this subject, then please just send them over to me. I'm more than happy to answer them, because I already have a few other ideas in the bank anyway. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the next one.